Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about my top 10 favorite Les Claypool projects, be it from Primus, Oysterhead, the time he worked with Praxis, or with Sean Lennon. I went through everything, and these are my top 10 picks. So without further ado, let's get into this. So at number 10, I put Primus's first album, Frizzly Fry. It's their first official album from the studio. And I have to say, for a band to come out with such a distinct sound and style, and such a fantastic album, it's very, very impressive. At number 9, I put one of Les's more curious side projects, the Duo de Twang, and their album, The 4 Foot Shack. This is a very interesting album because Les only works with one other musician, Brian Keogh. I probably butchered his last name, but it's mostly guitar and bass. And here we see Les's love for hillbilly music, which I always thought was ironic, but he seems to really love this stuff. It's a surprisingly fun ride, and it has two covers that always crack me up when I listen to them. Man in the Box from Alice in Chains, and we also have Staying Alive from Bee Gees. At number 8, we have Pork Soda from Primus. We're at the back end of their golden age. I'm not sure if this was their 4th or 5th album. It's a very dark and whimsical project. Here we have a band that's creatively very strong still, and you have the classic My Name is Mud on it. Also, the very experimental Hamburger Train, where Larry Lalonde really gets to stretch his legs with his guitar. At number 7, we have a project that, at least for me, seems to be pretty obscure, but a fantastic ride. Colonel Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains. Man, that band name is a mouthful. And their album's called The Big Eyeball in the Sky. It's a fusion between Primus and Praxis. So you're going to get top-notch instrumentation. Even though Les Claypool on this album is a little bit lazy, he's going and repeating a lot of stuff that he had already done previously on Primus. But the rest of his bandmates really pick up the slack, especially Buckethead and Bernie Royale. At number 6, we have Oysterhead and their Grand Pecking Order. Here we have another supergroup that has fantastic chemistry. So we have Trey Anastasio from Fish, and you have Stuart Copeland on the drums, obviously Les Claypool on the bass. And these guys really kill it on this album. Especially, I love how Trey and Les's vocals work together. Very well written songs. And even though the album isn't perfect, it has 1 or 2 fillers to it. It's a really fun endeavor. At number 5, we have the Les Claypool Frog Brigade and their album, The Purple Onion, which we have Les moving away from traditional alternative rock and metal. Here he ditches the 3-piece power trio. On this album, you can hear a lot of xylophone, sitar, saxophone. Things get pretty weird and bizarre on this project. And I do have to say that Les really lets the other musicians stretch their legs, do their thing. Even though this album is not my favorite, I do appreciate Les's willingness to experiment and try new sounds and styles. At number 4, we have Primus's Antipop, which, at least for me, it's one of my favorites. It's their heaviest album. For some odd reason, for a lot of Primus fans, it's like their one hot minute. Most of them don't really like this production in general. I guess I really like it because I think this was one of my first Primus albums that I ever got. I'm not 100% sure because I got the Brown album just around the same time, but I don't remember which one came first. At number 3, we have Primus's Seas of Cheese, where I feel that here we have the band at their creative zenith. Les's best bass lines and most crazy stuff that he ever puts to tape is on this album. And for the second and first place, we're going to have 2 albums that, at least for me, they're going to be interchangeable because they're both very high quality. Also, both productions come from the same side project for Les Claypool, the Claypool and Lennon Delirium. Again, I feel like both are interchangeable for me. The Monolith of Phobos and the Lime and Limpid Green. Maybe a couple years back, these albums would not have gotten on this ranking, but they've really grown on me. As I get older, I value more songwriting capabilities over virtuous instrumentation. On both of these albums, we have fantastic songwriting. You can hear a lot of influence from the Beatles, obviously. Also, a lot from 70s rock. There is fantastic chemistry between Les Claypool and Sean Lennon. Claypool's bass lines mirror quite a bit Paul McCartney's old school bass lines. I really love them. Also, Mr. Lennon plays quite a bit mellotrons, organs, clavichords, adding a lot to that Beatles feel. Another really interesting thing is that Les Claypool and Sean Lennon both sing, and their vocals work very well off each other. So, I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.